So in this video, nitakuonesha exactly what you need to learn to become a full stack web developer, or who are just front-end web developer au back-end web developer. So is either ufanye uwe a full stack web developer ama uchukue route ya kuwa only a back-end web developer or a front-end web developer, or the combination of the two. So the choice, so nitakurahisishia ukiangalia hapa ni nini unafaa kufuatilia, because this field is so broad, like you might get confused ni nini nafaa kulearn, ni nini sifai kulearn, but ukifuatilia hii roadmap it will be so much easier for you. Itakuwa very easy ni nini specifically utakuwa unaziangalia ili kuwa full stack web developer. I will prefer uwe a full stack web developer, but choice pia inakuwa ni yako, ni nini ni rahisi kwako. So kuwa full stack web developer, this is exactly the thing that you need to look at. So unafaa kuangalia HTML, and HTML tumeishia kuwa na course kiasi ya HTML. You can check it on YouTube. Ukienda kwa Swahili Coders, you will see HTML. We haven't finished yet, but your course itakuwa hapo, tutaimaliza sote, tutaangalia ni details, everything that you need to learn HTML. Now, ukitoka HTML, unafaa kuangalia CSS. Na tulisema HTML kaa nyumba, nikakupa mfano nyumba wakati inakuwa constructed. So HTML kaa tu blogs, paka pale imesimamishwa bila any styling. So CSS can be used specifically kufanya styling. So unafanya styling yako ya nyumba, na kuna other type of CSS, kuna less, kuna SAS. Yeah, so hiyo ndo ni CSS, inafanya specifically kasi yake specifically ni kufanya styling, coloring for instance. Yeah, nasema mimi nahitaji. Alafu pia umuhimu wa CSS nyingine ni responsiveness. Unaangalia siku hizi website ina respond wakati una browse for instance. Ikupa mfano any website, wakati unaangalia website yako unapata ya kwamba it's responsive to any screen size. Yeah, kuna website screen size, different screen sizes, like mobile version, unaweza kuwa na iPad for instance, au laptops na wide screens like desktop. So CSS hiyo inasaidia, na tutaangalia hizo sote wakati tuintroduce CSS na wakati tutafanya course ya CSS. And then kuna JavaScript. Unafaa kuangalia JavaScript. JavaScript ndio inaipatia website interactivity yake. Ukiangalia hapa interactivity ya website, sana sana what inafanya hiyo kazi ya interactivity of a website ni CSS. When you have CSS for instance, wakati uko na calculation for your website, so wakati unafanya hiyo calculation, what give you that interactivity ya kwamba I can do the calculation is this JavaScript. And then tutaangalia NPM, hiyo inakusaidia wakati wa React. Tutaangalia React Node, but kwa sasa we really don't need this one before we study hizi. Na JavaScript is a very very broad course that itakuchukua tena muda kiasi kuiangalia. This is the roadmap ya JavaScript. If you want to look at JavaScript, this is what you will be looking at. Na tuta introduce this course soon. You'll be looking at it. JavaScript is a higher it's a language by itself. CSS is not a language. It's not a programming language, or HTML is also not a programming language. But JavaScript by itself is a programming language. Ni lugha ambayo, and it's a higher function language ambayo unafaa kuchukua muda kustudy. So we'll be looking at, wakati tuta introduce JavaScript, we'll be looking at all these. Utafuatilia data types, utaangalia style casting, data structure, equality comparison, loops, interaction, so functions, utaangalia hii zote. And then ukimaliza JavaScript, you will now decide whether unataka ukishamaliza JavaScript, kustudy JavaScript, now utadecide whether unataka kuwa frontend web developer ama a backend web developer. Na ukiamua kufanya sote, then utaangalia backend, utakuja kuangalia vitu za backend web developer. Na vitu za backend web developer ikaa hii, so utakuja kuziangalia na backend. So utachoose JavaScript imekuja na Node, Node.js, so you can either study that ama ukuje uchoose kustudy Python, and then you will use now Django your backend. And I like Django na Python, easier to study, easy to learn, though mimi nimefanya sote Node, but I do prefer Django. But no, kazi yangu sio kukwambia ni which one unafaa kuchoose. Hii nakupa tu nakupa ufahamu zote ili wewe mwenyewe utachagua ni gani. So tumefika ya kwamba umemaliza JavaScript. Ukimaliza hii JavaScript course, sote umeshika vizuri, now uko hapa. You will now choose either to be a front-end web developer, then you will take a front-end roadmap, ama utakuwa a back-end web developer, which utaamua ukiamua au uchoose both the two, ukue full stack web developer. Now ukiamua kuwa full stack web developer, kuna two options and more. Kuna pia unaweza amua kustudy vitu kama C# or C++. But main one ambao I will maybe encourage you to check on is either you look at Python and then uangalie Django. How we just continue with the JavaScript, Node.js. Na hiyo utakuja hapa. So umeamua kuwa full stack web developer. Now utakuja hapa kwa web, utakuja kwa backend na kuna frontend. So ukiamua kuwa ama ukiamua kuchagua only backend web developer, this is what you'll be looking at. So this is the roadmap. So you will have to study backend. You will have to study vitu kama Postgres, MySQL, Miradi, MySQL, Oracle, so ama Mongo. So this is like a database. Sana backend ina deal to na story ya database. Au study Django. So ukiamua kufanya Django, hizi sote pia Django, ukiamua kulearn Django, but the good thing about Django ni kwamba inakuja you will not really need to learn all these. Hautakuwa na umuhimu wa kulearn hizi sote kama Postgres, MySQL, MariaDB. That's the good thing of learning Django, because it will come automatic with it. Although utaangalia kwamba you will be maybe you just look at it, but you don't really need it wakati utakuwa unafanya wakati utakuwa unataka for production, wakati unataka kufanya production ya project yako, it will automatically push it to Postgres. Kama utatumia, let's come back here. Ukiangalia hapa kwa full stack, wakati wa production wa code yako, you will either use JWT Howd or this other one, so wakati wa production. But I will encourage utumie kitu kama Railway. Ukitumia Railway kwa production, it is very easy, inakuja na Postgres. Na hizo sote inafanya automatic. Now, tulisema ukiwa hapa kwa backend, kuna vitu ambao unafaa kuangalia. Django, ukiangalia full stack, kuna Node.js, lakini pia hapa I will add Django. Now, unapata kwamba ukiamua kufuatilia JavaScript, utalearn Node na ukuja ulearn Postgres, which means you will have to learn all these other one, depending the company you are working with. Maybe this company, they are using MySQL or MariaDB. So it depends on what the company uses. Now, other company, like maybe you're working with Facebook, they're using the Django. So you will not really need to learn vitu kama hizi, because Django inakuja na automatic. Inakuja na SQL, but wakati wa production ina change automatic to Postgres. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Yeah, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but utaiangalia wakati unafanya production, wakati wa production ya project yako, it will but companies zingine siko na specific what they require, so you will need to learn it. So it depends also with the company that you're working on or the project you're working on. If they are flexible, you can use Railway for production, and it's very easy. It's very easy. During hosting, so easy. Now, umeangalia hapa backend, utaangalia either Java, utaangalia JavaScript, Python, Ruby on the Rail, PHP, C#. So that will depend. Now, kuna vitu kama Git. Git is just for version control. So Git is very good for version control. Maybe you have a project, you're running an hospital website, or you're running your own website. You have your own website, and it's already online. But after some time, we can make some changes. We can make some changes on your website. So this version control inasaidia sana kujua lini uli change, lini uli make changes, ni lini uli make changes, and then changes gani uli make. So, and this is for instance our Git here. So ukiangalia this is Git, na we will be looking at it, all this goes. So if I make any changes in this code, for instance, it will show me exactly what changes were made and lini all these changes were made. So it's a version control, the new version. And if you don't need that function, if it didn't work, you can also remove it. For instance, you can be able to change. So Git is very nice. It's very good to learn, and we'll be looking at it. Na hiyo yote itakuwa hapa kwa full stack web developer. So wakati unaiangalia umeona hapa Git. So kuna vitu zingine nyingi kama Nile, Terraform, and then unamaliza your full stack web developer. Na hapa kwa JavaScript, tulisema kwa JavaScript, you can either choose to be a front-end or a back-end or both. So ukiwa hapa kwa front-end, pia unaweza amua kuchoose njia ya front-end. Ukiamua kuwa front-end web developer, this is what you'll be looking at. Front-end tulisema tu ni HTML, CSS, JavaScript, version control tumesema hiyo, Git, and then kuna hosting. Ukishamaliza version control, for instance, now you'll have to host your website. Will be like just putting it online so that anyone can be able to access your website. You will have to be hosting it. So now kuna websites ambayo una access nowadays. Unaangalia kwamba this website, whenever you click on something, wakati una click anything, you click any link, the whole website does not reload. Yeah, so wacha tuangalie hii for instance, this website. Angalia hapa huku juu, umeona hapa nikiclick home unapata ya kwamba the whole website has to reload. Hapa juu unaona ina reload, but there's some website. Let's look at the React, for instance, website. This React website, if I click on anything, it's not reloading. It just open the page automatic without reloading anything. You see here, it's not reloading the whole page. So that's where Reacts come in. So kuna libraries ambao umepatiwa kwa frontend. It's not necessary uitumie. Unaweza tu amua kudeal na HTML, CSS na JavaScript. It's not necessary. It's not like a must you have to use it. But if you choose to use it, this is what you have been given. Ukiangalia kuna React, na Vue.js, Angular, Solid na zingine zote hizi. So kwa frontend kuna React. React is also very good. If you learn React, utakuja kulearn React native if you want to be software developer, kama unataka kuwa software developer. Na tutaangalia pia hiyo React native kama unataka ku start developing your own software apps. So that's where React native comes in. Now ukiamua kufanya React, itakusaidia kwa hiyo Kenya nimekuonyesha. It makes it very easy to access to website without reloading. Now React, it's another whole big course that you will have to look at. All this React, you can either use Vet or get React Hub. So it's a very big course. It's just used as component. Now kama utafanya React, now you have to learn either something to do with the backend, because you now be using information from backend to link up with the front-end information. For instance, if you want to send an email or any information you're getting from the backend, we'll have to learn the backend. We have to learn the REST API. That's why you are seeing it here. So these APIs connect, it gets information from backend and then it displays this on the front end. I'm not sure if I'm making sense. Kama na make your sense, but utaangalia hiyo. So that's another roadmap ya kuangalia. So kuna hizi mobile version, unakuja kuangalia mobile. So kama utachoose kufanya study front end, so there's a whole other things. There's a whole big course by itself. Yeah, so this is the front end, this is the back end. Na tulisema you can choose to, on the back end you can choose to either use JavaScript or Python, for instance, or Java or C# or Ruby. But if you choose Python, so you'll have to learn Django, Flask or Pyramid, and then itakupatia vitu kama Fast API, na hizi Fast API or RESTful APIs ndio unaitumia on your front end. Yeah, kama makes sense. Yes, I think that's the roadmap ambao mtu anafaa kufuatilia. So kama unahitaji hizi documents, kama unahitaji hizi document, just comment. Kama unahitaji hizi document kutumia comment hapo kwa YouTube comment section. Just ask me kama unahitaji hizi documents zote, nitakutumia ili uangalie wewe mwenyewe roadmap yenye unataka kufuatilia. Otherwise, asanteni sana. I will be looking at it in the future. For clarity, mi najua I was not much clear. Sikuwa very clear, but yeah, in the future, revisit it because all these things changes all the time. So, revisit, tuiangalie more in details in case you need any clarification. Na kama unahitaji hizi document pia, just comment hapo kwa comment that you need to look at it, and then I will send it to you. Thank you.